In this video I'm going to show you what this menu does and how you can use it to create your own design. This menu, all these settings right here are to make adjustments to the whole page. So not just to a single box, to a single piece of the page, but all these settings apply to the whole page at the same time. And the first setting is the page background. You can just select a color that if you want to use a colored background, but you can also use an image to use on your background, which you can choose whether it should be repeated or maybe just shown once, for example. So if you want to create a more graphical design, you can just create an image which has the width of this page, which is 810 pixels wide, and just implement it, and it will automatically show as the background of the whole page, which is an easy way to make sure it looks exactly how you want. The next setting is the page padding, and the page padding is basically the setting if you want to make sure that the outer space, that the space around the edges, will not be used. Now let me show you that in an example. When I enter 40, for example, that means that the 40 pixels on the side, so on the left, on the top, on the right, and on the bottom, they will not be used by any of the boxes. So this way you will have a nice border around your pages. If you want that, you can also make it smaller, 20. This means that 20 pixels will not be used by any of the boxes. But you can also, if you want to, for example, if you want to have this area right here on the top and on the right and on the bottom, but not on the left hand side, you can just go here, padding left, and change that into 0. As you'll see, it's here, there's no space on the left hand side, while there is on the right, on the bottom and the top. And if you also want to make change to another one, as you'll notice here, the padding value is set at 0, but it still shows, and that seems a bit odd, right? But the thing is, with this tool, every time you want to make changes, so whenever you select a new option and you want to make changes, you need to re-enter that amount. So if I want to change the padding top to 0, I just hit 0 and it works. And if I want to make changes again, you need to re-enter whatever you want to add. So that's the padding. If you want to make sure there's some space on the left, on the top, on the right, and on the bottom of your page. The sidebar setting is where you can change the width of your sidebar. So if you want to make sure that this sidebar is a bit wider or a bit smaller, you can just, for instance, 30. Now this sidebar is 30% wide, and this one is 70% wide. On the font settings, you can change all the fonts that are applied on the whole page. So if I want to change the normal text, I just select the color. As you'll see, it's already a bit gray. I can change the font family, I can change the font size, etc., etc. Just play around with it, really easy, and this way you'll be able to adjust all your font settings. Inside the boxes design, you have 3 settings. The first one is the boxes padding, and it's almost the same as the page padding that I talked about before. The page padding makes sure that there's some space outside of the boxes on the edges. The boxes padding will make sure that there's some space inside every box before the actual content starts. So if I enter again 40, you'll notice that inside all of these boxes, the 40 pixels on the left, on the top, on the right, on the bottom, they will not be used in all of these boxes. And once again, you can also change that for only for the left, for the right, for the top or the bottom. Let's just hit it, set it at 10 for now. The boxes spacing is the space between all the boxes. As you see, there's a bit of a space between the boxes. You can just make that disappear, or maybe you want to make even more space, for example. And the boxes background is if you want to change the background for all of the boxes at the same time by choosing a different color, by making it disappear, or just to create to upload an image which will be used as the background for all of these boxes at the same time. And let me just, whatever. And as shown before, you can just save this layout, and you can have a look at all the saved layouts that you already created, as well as the templates. and by clicking on this button you'll go back to the if you want to make sure that if you want to start over and create a new design, pretty much. So that's the page control settings. These are all the settings that are applied on the whole page. And in the next video I'll show you what kind of settings you can change to make sure that all of these boxes have the look and appearance that you want, instead of what we just did. Because what we just did, all of the settings will be applied in all of the boxes and the whole of the page, but maybe you want to create a different layout for the menu bar than for the header and for the content, etc. So that's what I'm going to show you in the next video. I'll see you guys.